Hello everyone, this is NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Welcome to my show. As you know, I have a passion for anti-aging, regenerative, and integrative medicine, and always present to you the latest and greatest in the trends in beauty and health, wellness, and lifestyle medicine. So today I have a guest who's one of the most amazing people I've met because he is a regular on my show. He trains all the celebrities on a regular basis. He knows his orthomolecular nutritional medicine, and he knows exercise, and he knows how to train. So his name is Teodoro Gaetano. How are you?
And he also knows how to say hello.
And he knows how to say hello. So listen,
how are you, Nina? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I wanted to have you on the show again because we have one amazing topic that we have to cover, and that is what are the key nutritional supplements that we need to be doing before and after exercise, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of times is like people will always ask me, you know, do I take my carbs or do I take protein? Or what kind of protein do I take before or after workout? There's so many questions and there's so many different answers that we hear. And, you know, you're an orthomolecular nutritionist as well. And you and I work together so much. We've done so much, you know, had so much success with you know, combining the hormones and the nutritional program. Let's give the audience a little glimpse of what we kind of have found that really works.
Yeah, in terms of basics of
Yeah.
nutrition, it all comes down to and boils down to understanding its basics and then act upon a basic knowledge that you should have regardless of who you are.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's a lot of stress that's put today on macronutrients, that you should get your macros right. What's the best ratio of macronutrients when what's of paramount importance a priori is the micronutrients. Micronutrients are much more important.
Yeah. So let's define what are macronutrients and micronutrients.
Minerals and vitamins, for instance, enzymes are micronutrients.
Yes.
Macronutrients are protein, carbohydrates, essential fatty acids.
Or with the good fats and things like that.
Exactly.
Right?
So when we're talking about micronutrients, first of all, you should have a solid supplement of micronutrients that you take on a daily basis.
And I think that's actually, people don't think that. So they think that is a multivitamin, right? As a multivitamin. But a lot of times, a lot of the multivitamins, again, this is the education. A lot of times, a lot of the multivitamins don't have all the minerals. They'll leave out some of the key minerals.
Absolutely. So first of all, in terms of minerals, it should be taken as a complete form. And although
what do you mean by the complete form?
Although we are like quite well aware of the importance of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, etc., we don't know that we're actually requiring 52 up to 60 minerals on a daily basis to function at an optimum level.
Isn't that, I mean, just that alone, that one statement. And can you imagine if people are not supplementing, which the majority of the people,
we are deficient. We see the same thing in the food industry. What happens is the plants that are grown either organically or industrially are nutrient deficient because of the aggressive agricultural industrial practices.
Exactly.
So, but what they do, they just throw some fertilizers, and most fertilizers are made of primarily three minerals: NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic, but the plants need themselves approximately 60 minerals in various ratios. Mm-hmm. So the plants are deficient. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they become sick. They don't have a strong immune system, and the bugs come and they eat them because they don't have their immune system strong and alert. And then what the farmer does, he goes to the chemical companies. Oh, I need a lot of herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, so genocides, so on and so forth. So they take it and they're just spraying on the ill plants.
So the plant is already, in other words, the plant is already sick.
Yeah.
And now you're just putting more chemicals on a sick plant.
Yeah.
And that's what you're ultimately going to ingest.
As a consequence, we have ill plants that now are loaded with a bunch of toxins. And it happens the same in the human healthcare pattern. Okay, we're not taking enough minerals. We're mineral deficient because these plants don't have the minerals either. So that's why it's like some sort of vicious circle.
Yeah.
But we're not taking enough minerals. Then we're getting sick. Then we're putting a lot of foreign molecules into our bodies, hoping that somehow we're gonna correct that deficiency that was and is the root of all problems.
Yeah, so in other words, also, isn't the RDA, you know, there's a minimum dietary, like the RDA values
They're called
of the foods.
ridiculous dietary allowances for a reason.
Right. So those have not been tested for many, many years. So if they were to test
that's
for
more
the
of a
foods
joke.
now, yeah.
It's definitely a joke.
Explain that before, because people will wonder, well, these are RDA values, the foods are there, so what are we talking about
RDA
these
values
plants being sick?
Is basically a national, it's not worldwide, it's national. Every country sets up his own RDA values, mostly for vitamins and minerals, and that's pretty much it. They don't care about enzymes much. But strictly about vitamins and minerals, the RDA value is that, for instance, if the RDA value is 60 milligrams of vitamin C per day, that means that if every single individual of that population of that country will take 60 milligrams of vitamin C per day, then they won't see any scurvy in that country. So the RDA values are just the dose that you need to take not to have a deficiency disease.
Right.
It's incomplete. They're lacking many nutrients that could prevent many chronic diseases.
I don't see iodine being listed, right? And iodine is the number one World Health
I don't see
Organization
laetrile or vitamin B17, which is essential for not getting cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there's
there are a lot of
So the education is to the audience is that,
look,
you guys, the RDA values don't even list a lot of the things that you're
supposed
that you might
one
be
should
deficient
educate. A very good book is the Optimum Nutrition Bible, wrote by the British nutritionist Patrick Halford. I actually studied there. I attended his lectures, and he gives the optimum dietary doses. So there's a difference between not having a nutritional disease and having a high level of vibrant energy, and your body operates at an optimum level. It's like a car, you know, it can function on a very low gasoline, as in, you know, the octanic cipher, but obviously it's not going to function well. It's just going to be barely go.
Right.
Yeah. So the bottom line is minerals, humic, fulvic minerals, which are organic minerals, which are bioavailable thus, because there's a difference between organic iron and anorganic iron. If I eat a coin of iron, how much of that iron you think my body will digest and send into the bloodstream from that coin of iron?
Very, very small amount.
Close to zero.
Yes, very small amount.
Because my body doesn't have the digestive ability of basically acidifying or liquefying metal.
Exactly.
Which anorganic iron is. But if I eat some berries, which through their roots get that metallic, that anorganic iron, and they metabolize it as organic iron, I get that iron already digested, and basically I eat pre-digested iron.
It becomes very bioavailable. So in other words, it's so important it's so important exactly the point that you're making, because so much of our, even if we ingest certain that what we think we're ingesting, these minerals and all, we may not be absorbing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's
so
huge.
Definitely humic, fulvic minerals, which are the most bioavailable form, in a dosage that is high enough for your body weight. Then absolutely vitamin C is paramount.
So this is a must. We
is
both
paramount.
are telling you vitamin C is number one.
The most underrated nutrient.
And guess what? Human beings can't make it. The dogs can make vitamin C, but humans
the
cannot
turtles
make vitamin C.
And the elephants, which are the most longevous, living hundreds of years, produce endogenously the highest amount of vitamin C as a hormone.
Yes. So this is
Yes, this is what the famous biologist Linus Pauling found out, that we used to produce vitamin C also, but because most of today's people, we come from the people which were inhabiting the tropics. Those people, because they were getting a lot of fresh vitamin C from the fruits, from the exotic fruits and citruses that they were eating, through some sort of negative feedback mechanism over a course of millennials, we happen not to produce vitamin C.
And this is your number one. So if we have to say to you guys, what is your basic 101, like number one nutrient that you should be supplementing is vitamin C.
And not 60...
Especially after a workout.
And not 60 milligrams, not 1 gram or 2 gram.
Yeah.
The optimum recommended dose for vitamin C is no less than 3.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. In other words, a male that weighs 70 kilograms, that's approximately 140 pounds, 150 pounds, 160 pounds, should take approximately 20 grams of vitamin C. The best form to take of vitamin C is a buffered form, calcium ascorbate, potassium ascorbate. Yeah. So there's no gastrointestinal issues.
That way you don't get because a lot of times people will get upset stomachs and everything because of the acidity of vitamin
Absolutely.
C.
We're eating a lot of acidic causing foods already.
And the other thing which I really want to also explain the myth on this is that vitamin C causes kidney stones. Well, it's going to cause kidney stones if you guys are already in an acidic state and you're not drinking enough water. But if in a normal, if we're in a alkaline state where we're able to dissociate the oxygen like we should, and it's able to oxygenate all our tissues, and we're able to be in just exactly where we're supposed to be, vitamin C is an amazing vitamin. So what's happening is the fear factor is people are getting scared of taking vitamin C.
It's been a lot of misinformation,
so much misinformation
about vitamin C that's been specifically targeting the mass population.
Absolutely.
To a lesser degree, the scientific community, which knew what's up.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the third essential nutrient, although isn't considered essential in classical nutrition books. It's very easy. It's called sodium bicarbonate.
Yeah.
Which if you put just a teaspoon of sodium, which is like 5 grams of baking soda in the same shake or blender or smoothie that you're using when you're drinking your vitamin C with anything else, basically neutralize the acidity of the vitamin C and all the rest of the nutrients, and it helps a lot in lowering the pH of your body naturally to its optimal state. Right. So the cheapest baking soda is the top three, the third most essential nutrient.
And you have to make sure again that baking soda is real baking soda, because nowadays it's being adulterated.
It's not GMO, yes.
GMO, or it's got aluminum now.
Exactly.
That's because the texture is a little
better.
So
definitely an organic baking soda will do.
So you know what? Recap, so we've got essential minerals, we've got vitamin C, we've got a little bit of baking soda. Okay, we've got to keep the body's pH good. We're gonna go into this break, and then we're gonna be right back with more amazing nutrients that we need before and after a workout. This is NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty. We'll be right back. Hello everyone, NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Welcome back to my show. And we were having a fabulous discussion with Teodoro Gaetano, who is one of the best fitness trainers in Beverly Hills, to the stars, and to the mega celebrities. And so basically we were really talking about...
Actually, Naina, if you are living in Beverly Hills, you are very close to the stars.
Yes. We were talking about the proper nutrients before and after workout, or really to maintain an optimal workout state. And we kind of just even touched on these are just basic nutrients we should be doing whether we work out or not, because it's so important.
Absolutely.
Right? We just touched on vitamin C, we touched on a little bit of baking soda, and also on the all the essential minerals.
Fulvic.
Yes. So now what are we going to go into?
We can go a little bit into the macros.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the right kind. I get asked this question so much. Protein. What is the best protein for me? This is huge. A lot of people will have a dairy intolerance. Some people say whey protein. Some people say soy protein. I mean, there's protein of all types.
First of all, we're talking so much about the protein, and I'm just telling this just to set the background a little bit. Why we're talking so much about protein is because a lot of marketing campaigns have been going on for the past decades that tell us that protein comes from protos, which means in Greek of the prime importance. But this is the most important nutrient. This is the building blocks, amino acids, the building blocks of our body. And this is extremely important. This fame that protein has stands only on the shoulders of the food industry, to be more precise, the meat and the dairy and the egg industry, who poured billions and billions in marketing campaigns. The reality is, yes, proteins are important, but not what type of protein are you eating is important, but what type of diet are you eating, which is the question, as a matter of fact. The best diet...
So what you're trying to say is that it's really not the protein by itself.
The protein is not the hype.
Yeah.
That's not important. It's the diet.
Okay.
What source of food? Where are you sourcing your foods from? Are they plant-based? Are you still eating meat, dairy, or eggs? If you do eat animal products, what are their sources? Are they caged? Are they use what type of vaccines and antibiotics? So the more you go into consuming animal protein, the more hurdles you have to just surpass just to make sure that you're getting good quality from a source-wise protein. To be more precise, the easiest diet, if any person wants to be healthy or wants to have a very high level of physical and just overall energy, is plant-based. Because this is the most effective way of feeding us.
Because not only do you have the plant-based proteins, but you also have a lot of the different kinds of antioxidants, different kinds of nutrients.
There are nutrients that nobody even found yet.
And enzymes.
The live enzymes are definitely the most important nutrient.
So that's what I wanted
because
to touch
life
on.
is just the enzymatic activity. And all our cells have an enzymatic potential of producing a certain number of enzymes.
Do we get this kind of all this much from animal products?
Absolutely not. They're dead.
That's what we want.
Nutrients in terms of enzymatic profile.
Yes.
The thing is this, and it's quite easy. Why are enzymes extreme? Why it's important to eat raw vegetables, organic vegetables? Because every life that I eat gives me life. Every dead animal that I eat, or everything that's void of life, takes life out of me to be broken down and create life. And it's not only it takes eight live enzymes from my cells to produce one type of food enzymes.
Why is it, I'm going to interrupt you, why is it, because I get this asked a lot, okay, when I'm trying to educate people on really going on this plant-based protein and about the enzymes and so forth, and I've literally had doctors ask me this as well. Well, I get my energy from eating meat. I don't feel if I don't eat meat, I don't feel I have energy. I can't get through the day if I don't eat meat. Why is that?
What they actually have is...
I think they're just not taking enough vegetables or something.
They have an animal fat addiction.
Yeah.
What they have is they just have an animal fat addiction. Sugar, it's an addictive substance.
Yes.
Cholesterol is an addictive substance.
Yes.
If you are eating this type of substances, you're going to develop an addiction. And there are indeed a lot of food addicts in America right now. That's why the percent of people who are obese is on the rise, even at the teenagers level.
Well, I have to, you know what? I have to give some accountability to the food companies because they are literally doing studies.
All the accountability.
They're literally doing studies where, you know, if you just take one more, they get the right balance of your salt and your sugar and your taste.
They supersize everything.
They're supersizing everything. Plus, they're getting you to the point where just one more.
Yes.
That your satiety level, they know about amino acids like we know. They know where you can get your serotonin levels up to where you actually are developing cravings for these fast foods and these snack foods.
Absolutely.
So
sodium glutamate.
We have to be aware of that.
Sodium glutamate is just a white powder that you just pour in water, you stir it, you drink it, it tastes like meat.
My gosh. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I think so in other words, the energy, what people are thinking, their energy is really, they're thinking that they have to have this meat in order to feel good, so to speak.
Because they've been programmed that way. And also they've been fed into this addiction. It's easy. When you are born in a family that gives you breakfast when you're 3, like eggs and ham, like the standard American diet, it's really natural to become an addiction because you know your mother who loves you, your father who loves you, just give you that type of food to eat. So it's more of a cultural thing than, you know, definitely more people should be informed, but also culture plays its part because there are countries that traditionally, like some region in China, that are still eating plant-based, and they have amazing health. And
Yes,
they have very long lifespans.
Yes. But so in other words, getting back to the plant-based protein, that means plant also have proteins. Another question, which is another myth we have to clear up.
How much protein?
Yes,
How much protein?
Because every time it's like, oh my gosh, you don't get enough protein from plants. How many plants do I have to eat in order to get my, you know, a piece of meat's going to have like, you know, maybe 15 grams or whatever. Well, I'm going to have to just consume protein, vegetables all day long. And I can't do that. So explain that, please.
Let me just give you a short example, and then I'll just go into it and do the explanation. First of all, I eat around 400 grams of protein per day. If somebody else would like to eat the same amount of protein per day, 400 grams, and he will choose animal sources, he will have to eat around 2.5 kilograms. That's approximately 4 pounds of raw uncooked meat, or if he's gonna cook it, approximately double, because like half of the protein just gets oxidized in the process of cooking.
Right.
More or less, but approximately there. So compared eating 10 pounds of meat a day, of cooked meat a day, which is like a ridiculous amount.
A ridiculous amount,
it's totally unfeasible, only for like a couple of like high-end athletes that live for it, and that's what they do, with approximately 5 pounds of raw vegetables and a couple of liquid meals. What is more elegant? Eating pork ribs like this with fat up across your elbow, or just eating just a really nice plate of raw fruits and vegetables and some green juice. Yeah,
green drink, yeah.
I would think
you want the live enzymes. You definitely want the live enzymes. Yeah. You definitely want the vegetables,
The main line of thought should be, if it's dead, you shouldn't eat it. We're not hyenas. If it's alive, then it will make you feel better. You'll be more alive. It will give you life, just like vampires, you know. Okay. So every life that you eat, that you consume, gives you life.
Yeah, okay? And unfortunately, this is the other thing too that's happening this is why I think we're in a crisis, a health crisis, is because our somebody out there is controlling what we're eating, because now the plants, they probably recognize that if everyone started going to plants, then start putting pesticides on plants. So now you're going to get different kinds of ailments because now you're ingesting these pesticides, and of course we're picking pesticides that mimic estrogens. So now we have all of these estrogen-like compounds in meats and all of these pesticides that mimic estrogens, and we are now leading ourselves to hormonal
Either way, it's a health trap.
It's
a health trap.
It's really a health trap.
You choose if you want to fall for it or not.
Yeah.
There is also on this amount of how much protein per day. Mm-hmm. There is probably now the top authority, international authority in the field of nutrition, an extremely intelligent and with the longest career in scientific research in the field of nutrition, mm-hmm. Dr. Colin T. Campbell, the author of the famous New York bestseller, The China Study.
Yes.
Who discovered through approximately 3 decades of scientific research spread around a couple of million, 2-point-something million population in China, that we have an innate limit to consume animal protein before we activate the genes that cause cancerous cells to multiply. And it's a fixed set at 20%.
It's very precisely fixed at that, right?
Yes.
And,
so basically, if you're eating more than 20% animal protein per day, 20% out of the total nutrient ratio, you will develop cancer at one point of your life. Because basically, cancer, we have cancerous cells.
Is it no wonder
right now.
Is it no wonder why there's an epidemic of cancer?
Yeah. He also discovered that when you're consuming plant protein in any quantity, he did like 10% groups, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60. None of those groups registered a maximum multiplying of cancerous cells, an accelerated multiplying of cancerous cells.
Wow.
So basically, if you want to be cancer-free, take care of your micronutrients and any other chronic diseases.
Yeah.
And to be more, active physically and stronger and can work out more. It just amplifies everything that you do in your life, regardless sedentary or active. So just take care of your micronutrients. Just switch or try to incorporate as many live plant-based foods as possible. Definitely eat your protein, may it be vegetable. There's so many crazy good, readily available plant proteins
like
available.
Mushrooms, and there's so many things.
Extremely tasty.
Yep.
You can eat everything. There are so many fox meats now from quinoa or whatever cereals that are tasting 10 times better, faster digestion. You burn less calories for digestion, and you just feel greater. You don't feel bloated from eating them. So definitely switch or try to commit as much as possible to a plant-based diet.
This is a fitness trainer telling you plant-based diet.
Which is exactly the opposite of most fitness trainers do.
This is the
you
whole
need
purpose.
to eat your protein.
I'm so glad that you were able to come to the show, and I'm very in gratitude of having us collaborate, and we're working together, by the
Absolutely.
way. We're coming up with programs, we're coming up with body transformation programs, because this is where we believe the change needs to happen. And this is the kind of mindset that we're going to be approaching our clients with and showing results. We already have. So once again, thank you for being on my show.
Thank you so much, Naina.
This is not the last time, as you know. So this is NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty. We'll be back next week with another great show.